Hi everybody. Today we are going to install the Kawasaki OEM Frame Sliders for the 2021 Kawasaki Ninja 1000 SX. For this installation, you're going to need a 14mm socket, a socket wrench, a 3mm hex socket, a 6mm hex socket, an 8mm hex socket, and a torque wrench. Let's get started. In a previous video, I showed how to put these Shogun frame sliders on, and these were or are designed for a ZX-10R rather than the Ninja 1000. They don't stick out from the plastic. They do nothing to protect your plastic, and they will protect your frame, but I decided to go ahead and get the Kawasaki OEM, which is what we're going to install today. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these so we can start with a clean slate, and we'll get to it. Okay, so what we have here is the OEM Kawasaki frame sliders for the 2021 Ninja 1000 SX. It's part number 99941411. Go ahead and open it up. Now, if you did see my other video on the Shogun frame sliders, it was 2 bolts. So this is going to be a little more complicated, but inside you're going to have a bag full of hardware, which we will go through in a minute. You're going to have frame slider, another frame slider. All right, so the frame sliders are identical, so you don't need to worry about what side goes to what. Mounting bracket. This will be the other mounting bracket. Now the mounting brackets are different. Okay, so you'll see that they have 2 different part numbers. This one is 230621268. This is 230620901. So keep those organized. And then these are going to be the little emblems that say Kawasaki. These are different parts, but they're pretty easy to figure out which ones go where once it's installed. And then you'll have your instructions. Let's go ahead and go through the hardware. Alright, so you're going to have a pack of these bolts. A pack with a single bolt. Another pack with a single bolt. Gonna have another pack with 2 more bolts. Pack with 2 washers. Pack with a collar. And another pack with a collar. You will have 4 of these screws. I guess technically bolts. Another 2 washers, black washers, and these little well nuts. And they call them dampers. So these dampers here. So quite a lot more involved than the Shogun sliders, but I think it's going to provide more protection, especially since it's, first of all, by Kawasaki, but also made for this particular bike. Okay, I am actually going to go ahead and lay it out because the parts are organized based on what side of the bike. And just to make things easier for everyone, I'm going to lay this out for you. If you want to skip ahead, if you don't care, feel free to do so. But we are going to lay the parts out exactly how they have them. So we're going to start with part number 1, which is the bracket, which is 0901. Okay, 0901. Then we're going to go with the long bolt, which is 0447. So you have the pack of the 2 bolts here. So we're going to go ahead and take the long bolt out. And then one of the sliders. Remember, they are not side specific. So just grab a slider, throw it on there. Then we are going to grab one of the black washers. And just to make sure, it says it's number 7 here, so 0807, so it is one of these. So we're going to get one of these out of the pack. Okay, so we got a black washer. Then we need 2 of these well nuts for these things. So 2 of them. So that guy, which is part number 0351. And then we are going to need one of the regular steel washers just to make sure, number 4, so 0088. And honestly, I ought to be splitting these apart here, so hold on a minute. We're going to go ahead and washer. Get this other black washer over on this side. Okay. We're going to need one of these for each pile. Now the collars are not identical. So for this side, we want 1520. So it's going to be the longer collar. You'll notice that it's deeper. So we're going to put that collar there. And then 2 of these screws. So part number, or bolts, 1014. Okay, and for this one you need part number 50448. So this bolt, which is the longer bolt. And then the other side, you're going to have these shorter bolts. The other bolt, 2 nut wells, collar. And each of them gets one of these A0830 hex bolts. Frame slider. And that takes care of organizing all our parts for each side. So I'm going to go ahead and move the camera to the right hand side of the bike, and we are going to get started. Okay, now before we can get to installing these, you have to remove your middle fairing, the side cover, and the lower fairing. And technically, you could use a wrench and probably get them installed, but there's not enough room here for a torque wrench, which is critical because you need to get to the right torque specs. So we're going to go ahead and remove these fairings. For this video, I'll speed through it, and if you need to refer to the other video, I'll have a card in the top. Okay guys, we are on the right hand side of the motorcycle. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to remove the lower engine bracket bolt. This is a 14 millimeter. Okay, remove the bolt and the washer. Take the right bracket, which is the part that ends in 0901, and go ahead and install this dampener. Okay, then you're going to take the long black bolt and feed it in. Remember to take it from the same side. Remember, we organized the parts. So, feed it in. And just screw it in, a little bit, hand tight. You don't want to snug this down yet, because you got to get this other bolt out and get that installed first. Now again, with 14 millimeters, go ahead and take this bolt out. And you can set it to the side. You aren't going to need it again. And what you're going to do is you're going to put this collar into the bracket. Feed it into the grommet. And it'll go against where you pulled the bolt out of. Put the washer on the other bolt, which is the nickel bolt. Go ahead and feed that in. Okay, now you're going to tighten it down. And this bolt gets 44 foot-pounds or 60 Newton meters. And this bolt gets 33 foot-pounds or 45 Newton meters. So we're going to start with the front one, so 44 foot-pounds. Use your torque wrench. And then this bolt takes a 8mm hex. Go ahead and thread it in as far as you can. Okay. And then the other bolt uses a 14mm again. And this is 33 foot-pounds or 45 Newton meters. Okay, that's it for this side for now. We're going to go ahead and get on the left side. Okay, the left side's pretty much the same story. Go ahead and take your bracket and put your little grommet dampener in here. Okay. Go ahead and take your 14mm and undo the lower engine mount bolt and the washer. Go ahead and take the black bolt and feed it in, but remember, just get it loosely started. Go ahead and remove the rear, the other bolt here. Go ahead and set this to the side. You don't need it anymore. Grab the nickel bolt, the collar. Go ahead and get the collar put in here into the rubber grommet. See the bolt in. Get hand tight. 8mm. Alright, since my torque wrench is already set to 33 foot-pounds, I will verify it is. We're going to go ahead and tighten this bolt first. And then we're going to switch to the 8mm hex, and we're going to go up to 44 foot-pounds. And tighten this front bolt. Okay, that's all there is to getting that bracket put on. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and install the lower fairing, side cover, and middle fairings. And remember, I do have videos showing how to do this, but we are going to skip ahead and continue from there. Okay, we are on the left-hand side of the motorcycle. I don't know if you guys caught this, but I forgot the washer over here. So make sure the washer's on. Good news is we don't need to take the lower fairing off for this. Put the washer on. Go ahead, put it back in. 33 foot-pounds. For 45 Newton meters. Go ahead and torque that down. Hopefully you guys caught it and didn't do what I did. I will need to put a note. Okay, so you want to line the notch up. Wide end faces forward. Take the black washer. This last bolt you have, last big bolt, and 6mm hex socket. Go ahead and put it on, and you want to take your torque wrench, set to 15 foot-pounds or 20 Newton meters. Install the well nuts. Install the beautiful Kawasaki aluminum plate. Take a 3mm hex socket and get these guys put in. They need to be snug. And that takes care of the left-hand side. We're going to move on over and do the right-hand side. Okay, we're over on the right-hand side. Process is going to be the same. You're going to take your black washer and your bolt, your 6mm, get it started, 15 foot-pound, 20 Newton-meter, insert your well nuts, take your fancy-dancy little plate, take your 3mm hex, and tighten them up. Don't over tighten, but you want them snug. That's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I will try and answer everyone's questions as soon as possible. If there's anything you would like to see, any tips, tricks, techniques, anything at all motorcycle related, please let me know. I do these videos for you, so anything that you would like to see, I am more than happy to do it. If you like this video, please click that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and click the bell to notify you whenever a new video drops. Thank you again. Ride safe and keep the rubber side down.